How's it going, everybody? I'm Burrhead2. Welcome to my Year 3 Anniversary video, Retrospective video. Man, I love syllables. I used that joke last year. So, welcome to my Retrospective. It's going to be a bit of real talk, a bit of clown-to-clown conversation. I'm going to talk about all the videos and Let's Plays done over the course of the previous year and explain why I made them, the philosophies behind them, and my opinions on them. Mostly those first two things. So, with that out of the way, there's one thing I have to talk about first. The YouTube gods demand a sacrifice! Yes, I'm gonna quietly, private, more likely than not, a couple of videos, because I don't want them around anymore. They kind of bug me if I think about them, so, yeah, Joe Hawley's Taco Bell and Joe Hawley's Thirsty the Epic Tale, they're going away, so, yeah, and also a community post, but nobody cares about that. I started doing community posts this year, but they're not that interesting, they're just memes. I'm not going to talk about them. Although there's probably a couple things I could talk about here and there, I'm just going to ignore them. So let's actually get on with it then, shall we? Okay, so year 3 is a bit like year 2. It starts off with a Let's Play and also a meme video. I uploaded pretty early in the year. And Let's Play is a Let's Play I started in the previous year. In this case being Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I started this in October of the previous year, and frankly it shouldn't have taken me quite as long to finish this Let's Play. I feel like there's a decent chance I could have finished it the same year I started it, but it didn't end up working out that way. Now, the overall episode count, which was 92 plus 1 for an extra episode, I think would have made it go into the next year anyway if there was one video every day, but it wasn't because I had a really hard time getting the time to record new episodes for this Let's Play. I have since worked on this issue, and it should be a non-issue now, but there's been periods of, like, I couldn't record for, like, 2 weeks. Not great. Not great, not ideal, in my opinion. But it's in the past, no, I definitely can't fix it. So, yeah, I'm on the spot. Now I gotta think of everything. I'm on the spot now, like I said. What more could I say about this? My opinion on the game, I suppose? I didn't like the game that much. Like, I didn't, dislike it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't that great, in my opinion. I liked the first one more. I think one problem I've had with both of the games is that the battles are just too long in general. It's kind of like too many of them. But, yeah, whatever, that's not a huge deal. I had something. Oh, yeah, and, I really miss how in Sparks of Hope there's, very little Mario in it. There's, Mario characters, a few got, 2 Mario enemies, and there's coins and star bits, and that's basically it. What I enjoyed about the first game was that it was basically there's a lot of Mario in it. It's almost like a parody in a way, and this game didn't have a whole lot of that. So, yeah, there's that. Now, for Let's Play itself, let's talk a bit more about that. Wasn't very good. I definitely should not have Let's Played this kind of game. Now, I thought about this, maybe I kind of want to Let's Play the first game, but with the way this one went, probably not a very good idea, because most Let's Play was just me doing a battle and going, let's see if this works. Oh, good. Oh, it did. Nice. Oh, crap, I got shot. No, I don't like you. So, it wasn't great. You know, it had its moments, I'm sure. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but I don't really think it was that great. Now, there was a consistent conversational topic with this, and that was trivia about American presidents. Now, I don't claim that everything I said there was correct, which it is definitely not, but, there are some interesting tidbits in there, like how Herbert Hoover was president when the Star Spangled Banner was made the official national anthem of the United States. That's fun fact, right? Everyone loves knowing useless trivia. I'm a big useless trivia fan. Who doesn't love useless trivia? Definitely not me. I don't know where I'm going with this. So yeah, I don't know, just fun. I like doing that, I guess. Okay, I can't really think of much more to say about this off the top of my head right now. There's no guarantee that I won't think of anything later, and that's definitely true of this whole video, keep that in mind. So we're gonna move on to the next one now, which is my year 2 anniversary video retrospective. Yeah, I talked about the previous year's retrospective, in these videos because, well, when I make these videos, I haven't finished making them when I record it, right? I can't retrospect on everything in the retrospective if I haven't made the retrospective, right? You know, that's how it works. So you know, next year I'm going to talk about my year 3 retrospective. But typically, not a whole lot happens when I edit these videos because I'm just recording it first. Obviously, I don't edit it first because that'd be kind of hard. So nothing really interesting happened there, at least not that I can remember. There's maybe one actually thing, but I think that's better left for another topic that I'll get to eventually. Yeah, that video was also like 3 hours and 50 minutes long. That's definitely one thing I could mention about that, and that was a bit longer than it probably should have been. Now, I had a lot to talk about. Apparently, even though I uploaded only a few more videos than my previous year, I don't know how I managed to tack on an extra 3 hours. This video is probably not going to be that long, mostly because I haven't practiced this video quite as much as I practiced my year 2 retrospective, which is probably the main reason I was able to remember a whole lot of stuff there. But, yeah, so move on to the next one, which would be my Pikmin 2 pre-release unused content, the whole saga video. I cannot escape talking about Pikmin 2 pre-release and unused content. Now, this interesting thing here is that I retrospected on this video back in my year 2 retrospective because I had already made the video, even though I uploaded it early this year. And I guess I'm just going to restate things I said there. So, long story short, Pikmin 2 pre-release unused content was a year 1 video that I was working on for several months, a long time, and then the video file imploded. I couldn't get it back, so I decided I'm just gonna remake the whole thing. And there comes my multi-part Pikmin 2 release and unused content series, and the whole saga is the crescendo of the whole thing. It was the ultimate end goal in making it, because I made those 3 previous videos, and the part 2.5 one, kind of, in mind that I could go back and edit them a little bit, and I could put them all together in one giant video, and I did. So I went back to the editing files for the first 2 parts. I changed them a little bit, that way they could, fit together quite nicely, and I went back and inserted those video files, we converted them into video files, into the editing file for my part 3 video. Excuse me, I just burped. So, that's how that worked. And also I put in part 2.5 in there, because, yeah. Oh gosh, this video was 6.5 hours long. Okay, let's be honest, if it wasn't for part 2.5, this video would be 3 hours long. It's literally over half the entire video's length. And I can talk more about that in a second, or maybe right now, because... Okay, I definitely did not intend for part 2.5 to even exist in the first place. But, I definitely didn't intend for it to be 3.5 hours long. And I know, I didn't upload that video this year, I uploaded it last year, but I'm just going to point it out here, is that if there was a better way I could have formatted that video, I would have done it, because I had to find stuff off of YouTube, the music off of YouTube, and the way it was on that video was not in a nice pattern. It wasn't a way like it looped twice and moved to a different mix of the same song. No, it was literally just like gameplay with no sounds, and the soundtrack is dynamic in real time. It changes in real time, so it wasn't like, again, like one particular version of the song plays for 2 loops and it switches to like the sunset or battle or carrying treasure working version for another 2 loops. It didn't work like that, and it would have been really nice if it was that neat, but unfortunately it wasn't, so I had to basically just take the whole thing, all those videos, and I credit the people that made those videos, and insert them there, and it ended up being like 3.5 hours long. So yeah. But the editing, particularly in the whole saga, which is the video I'm supposed to be talking about, is a little sloppy. I did go back and make a couple changes, like enough you can count on one hand. But I did make some mistakes in doing that, particularly in part 2.5, in that section where I had overlaid some new text, and the original text is on screen for like a second or something, and I have no idea how that happened. From all accounts, from what I knew, it was supposed to work perfectly, and it didn't, but I don't know how the original text was on screen, because I took the text from... Okay, let me re-explain this. So I just straight up reused the video file for part 2.5 and inserted that into the whole saga. But because that video had timestamps in it, I had to change timestamps, so I just blotted out timestamps and inserted new ones. And I was a little sloppy with some of that stuff. I did try and change like one misspelling I had noticed in there, and there was a misspelling I noticed later, but I'd always started converting the video into a video file again, the whole thing. And even though it was really early on in the process, I was like, I don't want to mess with it, haha, nudge nudge, I was just being lazy, because when I was editing part 3, my program was kind of starting to get all wacky again. It was kind of starting to bug out, and I was worried that that video was going to implode, because the whole saga was... It's over twice as long as the original Pikmin 2 Previously Unused Content was when that video imploded. That was like 3 hours and 1 minute. So I was kind of worried that, yeah, this one was probably going to like explode within like 10 seconds. Now, it didn't. It worked fine. But I was a little worried, reasonably so, but yeah, after a while of using it, it obviously didn't bug out and implode, so I was likely in the clear, but I just kind of justified that by, you know, saying it might have if I went back and changed it. Didn't want to push the buck, what am I saying? Push the envelope, and I didn't want to pass the envelope as well. Oh gosh, that's cringe. So yeah, I was just being lazy when not fixing that misspelling. So it was a little sloppy, but it's the easiest way that it could have been done. I definitely went back and changed. I'm pretty sure I went back and changed the section with the arboreal frippery. I think I said something about that. I think I changed that section. But beyond that, it's basically just a compilation and not a whole lot more. But it is 6.5 hours long, and that's impressive. So, yeah. Now, let's see, what comes next? I think I actually missed a video on my list here. After that would come Soldier Asks a Question. So this video was pretty early on in the year. And I just thought it was funny. I figured I'd make this video. It's kind of more or less on a whim, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I made a video, but yeah, so moving on. We have a revised FNAF Security Breach review. Now, I actually partially retrospected on this one in my Year 2 retrospective, because I was actually in the process of making that video at that point in time. But I can't really remember anything I said there about this video. I forgot a couple of things, at least. Now, the thing was, a bit of context here is that Pikmin 2 Previously Unused Content, the whole saga, counted as like an upload from my schedule, and I was about 2 weeks ahead by that metric, and I had extra time to make any videos, but I wanted to make my revised review here within 2 weeks, because you have more time to work on stuff is always nice, because the whole saga was a very easy video to make. No surprise there, I suppose, but back to my revised review. I need to explain things more clearly here. So, let's just re-explain the whole video. So, I wanted to remake my review for this game, mostly because I figured that the original review was a bad video. Now, a note is that when I was editing part 2, my Year 2 retrospective, so there's the note, I used the original review as background footage when I talk about the original review, you know, because that's what I do. And I wasn't listening to the video, but I was looking at the editing and I was watching it, and it wasn't quite as bad as I remembered looking through the parts I was, you know, looking at. So like maybe I was just too focused on thinking this video was that video was a bad video, and I wasn't looking at the good parts. but whatever. I still wanted to remake my review because I knew what was wrong with it. The writing wasn't good, the recording was abysmal, and the editing just was kind of lame and boring, so I wanted to fix it. I could identify the problems. That means I can change it. And I think this video came out a bit better than my original one. I can't really remember much from the video. Let's think about that here. So after I had talked about this video in my retrospective, I actually had to rewrite part of the video. Because when I got to editing a certain part, I realized what I was talking about, a thing I was referring to, didn't actually exist in the game, at least not that I can remember. So I had to go back and rewrite that part, and I went back and changed a few more parts after that and just made the video a little bit longer in general. So I could talk about that originally because it happened afterwards, but yeah. Now, one particular thing I think I did better in this video was the horror category, because in the original review, that was a little bit rambly, I want to say. It wasn't very clear, wasn't very concise. I basically just wrote whatever I was thinking, and I knew when I was writing that part that, having it be more organized would probably have been a good thing, but I was like, I kind of want to schedule here, just do the best I can in the moment. So when I was making my revised review, I had the benefit of having that subject in my head for quite some time and be able to think it out a lot better and present it a lot more clearly. So that's good. I can't think of anything else though. Gosh, what? Oh, I can't really think of a whole lot that I really need to reference right now. I had something for like a second. The thumbnail, I ripped off the original video's thumbnail by drawing over the pointing soy jacks myself. It's not very good, but it's funnier. That's something. Let's move on to Falling Boost. Now, I was talking with some people, and the term Falling Boost came up in conversation, and I thought that sounded really weird. So I wanted to make some kind of bizarre, random, I don't want to say surrealist, but some just really random meme about Falling Boost. So I did. Now, I'm also not particularly attached to this video. I was like, maybe I should upload this to YouTube. And I was told, yeah, you should do it. So I was like, okay, I'll upload it to YouTube. So it's not like my favorite video, to be honest. Again, I'm not particularly attached to it. Now, it was a very similar deal with the video after that, which is Looming Gregory. I was talking with people about SFM, which is also why the term Falling Boost came up in conversation. And this guy was like, oh, I had this really funny idea. And it's like, you know what, I'll make that an SFM. So I made an SFM. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. I just used some of the animations that came with the models. I did find out later that the Vanessa model actually has a running animation instead of the jogging animation I used in the video, which, had I known that at the time, I would have used that. But yeah, I'm even less attached to this video because I was still like, maybe I should upload it to YouTube, and I was told, yeah, you should do it. Now, if something happened to YouTube servers one day and one video got lost forever, and it happened to be this video, I wouldn't be that sad, to be honest. It's not one of my better ones. I made it in 5 minutes. So, again, I'm not particularly attached to it. It really wasn't my idea, but, whatever. So, we're gonna move on next to, Haha Gregory. Oh, great, this video. So this ended up being a YouTube short. I didn't want that, but it's a YouTube short, and I don't think I can change it after the fact. So it's stuck forever as a YouTube short until the video gets deleted or re-uploaded in some manner that wouldn't make it a YouTube short, but I probably wouldn't do that. It was the idea for this video, and I think one or two, at least one other thing, maybe another thing after that had me giggling all day. There was 2 or 3 things in my head I was thinking of, man, it was so funny. One of those things was this image I'm going to put on screen right now. but another one was this video. I don't think there's actually much I can really say about it, other than I don't know. Actually, I can't really. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I guess I can't. I don't know. Next up we have Heavy Love's Tally Hall. Now this is a very, very simple video. It's comprised of one GIF, very low quality GIF, and 2 sound bites, and people have surprisingly liked it a lot more than I thought they would. That's good, I guess. Now I got one of the sound bites from the Tally Hall subreddit. Someone had posted their clip of, what's the guy's name? Gary Schwartz, I think. The voice actor for Heavy, saying Heavy loves, I love Tally Hall, I think, and I just took that audio and I inserted Welcome to Tally Hall after that and made this video and used a low quality GIF of the Heavy dancing. Now, when I was making this video, I wasn't sure what part of the song to use. I used the bridge in the final video, but I was also thinking about using the We Think We're Playing in a Band part, and I just had no idea which one to use. Like, they both seemed pretty even as which one could be better, and I kind of just somewhat arbitrarily chose the bridge. Like, yeah, let's just use that one. I think it's marginally better than the other one, and in retrospect, which is what I should be doing right now, I think it was the right call to use that part of the song. So, yeah, there's that. Next up, we're moving pretty fast here, I think. Purple Guy. This is another YouTube short. Now I think this one's pretty funny. I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it's moderately funny. I found this image, and you know, it's a very nice image because the suit is purple in the image. I just thought, Purple Guy. So I put the song over it, and the Purple Guy dancing GIFs and those. Oh man, I'm trying not to laugh thinking about it. Okay. I know, I'm giggling at my own jokes. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes, right? But there's not really a whole lot more to say about this. Now, moving on, we have Sacred Peace, which is another meme video that I had in my head for quite some time. It's based off of Sacred Beast, the song Sacred Beast, and in the song, they literally say the phrase, One Piece. Very obvious joke there. Just put in the Can We Get Much Higher song, and boom, there we go. Now, I forgot to turn down the audio on Sacred Beast, since it's louder than it should be after I definitely legally procured the song off of the internet, and I totally didn't just download it off of YouTube, but it's not a huge deal, right? So yeah, there's that. Not much more to say about that. Next up, we have Pikmin 4! It's real! Which makes my video, whatever happened to Pikmin 4, my first video, I'm just called What Happened to Pikmin 4, not Whatever Happened to Pikmin 4, sorry. Very redundant, but, you know, that's not a bad thing, now is it? It's real. So my Let's Play on Pikmin 4. Got it day 1, went home, Let's Play it. I couldn't do anything else. Like, no self-respecting Pikmin fan in my shoes wouldn't do the same thing. Of course, if you were in my shoes, you'd probably just be me. So, I did that, so you would just do the same thing I did, so, I don't know where I'm going with this, man. All this improv stuff isn't a very good idea. But anyway, so, yeah, it's Pikmin 4. And the game could have been better, in my opinion, but let's get to that eventually. First, let's talk about my Let's Play. So it was pretty alright. You know, it's a decent Let's Play. It's not the worst thing in the world. It can be better, but, you know, you could probably have done worse. I've had worse Let's Plays. Pretty alright, I guess. Not much more I can say about it. Now, I did have a conversational topic with this one, and this one's interesting because I barely talked about it. Because I saw in the promotional material of Pikmin 4 that there was a fidget spinner treasure, and that's like peak 2017 internet culture. Like, you got like dabbing, and then after that you got Uganda Knuckles and the Old Town Road song. That's like more 2018 stuff, but like a fidget spinner is like, and dabbing. Peak 2018 internet meme culture. And I had to reference it. I wanted to reference a bunch of stale memes after I found the fidget spinner in Pikmin 4. So that's the thing. I didn't know where I was going to find the fidget spinner in Pikmin 4. I just held out hope that would be an early game treasure. It was a late game treasure. I found it in part 52, I want to say. And that's the inciting incident for my conversational topic. Over halfway through my Let's Play, I didn't even have the thing I wanted to talk about, but I got it pretty fine without it. Because I barely quoted any stale memes. Like, you can count on one hand the amount of times I did that, and then I quoted, like, Meme Man more than once. So, without copies, you could probably still count on one hand. So, yeah, it's surprisingly hard to come up with random old memes while playing a game and trying to commentate over it, so yeah. Now, as for the game itself, let's explain my opinions on it again. There are aspects of the game I like, but I can't help but just think that it could be a lot better. My main gripe with the game was the fact it's so simple and easy and smoothed over. There's like no challenge to it, and everything is it's almost like too much quality of life. And like a major point is like the auto lock on. I really wish you could turn that off, because especially in one of the very later challenges, the one where there's like 99 enemies you have to kill, and there's 90 bubble larvae and 9 sheer fleas. That particular challenge, when you're throwing the purple Pikmin you get, it's really hard because you want to throw it like in the middle of a group, but because the game doesn't want you to do that, just locks into the closest thing to you, you can't actually optimize that. The game physically won't let you do that. And there are points where like you're standing too close to an object you throw Pikmin to, when you want to try to throw Pikmin on an enemy, but you can't because the game wants to throw on something else. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's annoying because like the game is the reason you can't do what you want to do. It's not player error. It's a feature. And I think the game was just I think the game is just too smoothed over. It's too easy, and Colin and Shepard don't freaking shut up. All right, I said it. They don't shut up, and they're not interesting. That's the issue. If I had Olimar or Louie narrating my entire playthrough of the game, it wouldn't be quite as bad. But Colin and Shepard have like the exact same personality of, I'm a nice person, I'm gonna motivate you, and it's so boring and it's annoying. And they don't stop. The game, like 25 hours in, consistently tells you how to play the game. Yeah, not consistently, but there's like points where like you're fighting a boss and the game's like, oh, press and hold X to do a rush. I'm 25 hours into the game. I didn't forget how to do a rush. All right. And I don't like Ochi that much. Definitely part of the reason why the game is too easy and smoothed over. You could probably do a Pikmin playthrough with just Ochi, but yeah, my voice cracks. But you know, it's Pikmin, and I like Pikmin, but there are just parts of the game I just didn't like. It's about middle of the pack on my Pikmin game tier list. It's the first game, Pikmin 4, then Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3 fight for first place. Not sure which one I like more. I like Pikmin 2 a lot, but I think Pikmin 3 is just generally the better game. But yeah. So that's about all I can mention about this. Ooh, one more thing actually, is that for 5 Let's Plays in a row, being my first 5 Let's Plays, it would be 5, right? Hold on, let me think about this. Luigi Mansion 3, Super Mario Galaxy, Security Breach. What can I just... Security Breach, I forget. That's 3. Then... Sparks of Hope. Yeah, Pikmin 4. then ruin. So I feel like I'm missing something. Am I? No. Hold on. I need to think about this. Yeah, this is totally. Yeah, I've done. Whatever. So for 5 Let's Plays in a row, being my first 5, that's gonna be embarrassing to listen again when I edit this video. But each Let's Play has gotten successively longer. Luigi Mansion 3 was 28 videos, Super Mario Galaxy was 41, Security Breach was 62, Sparks of Hope was 92, Pikmin 4 was 98, plus 4 for the extra episodes. Now, for those last 3, I definitely felt, while doing those Let's Plays, that the Let's Play was getting too long. But at least with Pikmin 4 is like a 30-hour long game. I had a little bit of an excuse. But 98 episodes, like, what I really don't want to do is hit triple digits. And I was so close. But thankfully I managed to do it. And I think towards the end I started trying to do more in the videos. To try and counteract that. But yeah. Of course, I knew while playing Pikmin 4, at least towards the end, that that record wasn't going to last. That it actually wasn't going to continue to increase, which, you know, probably a good thing, but it's kind of a fun trivia point, because definitely by the time I finished Pikmin 4, I had finished my 6th Let's Play, because I was doing 2 at once. The DLC for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin! Hooray! So, the obvious, I was doing 2 Let's Plays at once. I never wanted to do 2 Let's Plays at once, because, you know, it's just focus your efforts on one thing. I think that's just a good rule of thumb, and I want to go back and forth. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of fun. I did kind of enjoy going back, you know, between recording some Pikmin 4, and then, like, you know, the day after recording more Ruin. I did kind of enjoy doing it, and I think part of the reason was because one was a Nintendo Switch game, the other one was a PC game. Like, if I was trying to Let's Play 2 Switch games at once, then I had to find a nice place to, like, save at and just be a bit more annoying. So I think, you know, the way it happened was probably the best. And I really wouldn't mind doing something like that again, but I'm probably not going to. I even had this crazy idea of doing 3 Let's Plays at once, but the other one would have been a Switch game, definitely. And yeah, this probably wasn't. Yeah, I didn't really want to do that. It didn't. But anyway, so yeah, I did kind of enjoy doing that. Now, as for the Let's Play itself, I think it was pretty good. It had its ups and its downs, as I think most of my Let's Plays do. It's not consistently always good and exciting, but I think it does have some enjoyable moments for it. Except for the obvious, really bad things. Because, twice, while recording, I didn't record the game audio, because I forgot to switch between muting and unmuting the desktop audio, and I accidentally left the desktop audio muted, more than once. Yeah, it's only a problem when recording PC games, because the audio only comes out of the PC, not my capture card. So, yeah. And it really just had to happen. My first 3 episodes recorded for that, didn't have any game audio, and it had to happen right there. That was a bit of its own experience, the first few episodes. Because, I actually was going to stay up, all night, yeah, all night, but late in the night to, play the DLC exactly when it dropped. I don't know why I decided to do that. I thought it'd be fun. And I kept checking is after midnight, and I kept checking. And eventually it updated. Right. I was like, okay, here it is. 24 gigabytes, I want to say. Megabytes? It's gigabytes, I think. Okay, 24 gigabyte update. Here it is. I finished updating and the DLC wasn't there. I'm getting a phone call. Oh my gosh. I need to answer this. Okay, with that out of the way, I lost my train of thought. Gosh darn it, I lost my... What was I talking about? Oh yes, it was not the game audio, it was me staying up late. So yeah, there was a second update later on that, at that point it was like, okay, by the time this thing finishes, it's gonna be too early in the morning for me, and I'm gonna have to record that, I'm gonna have to edit that, I'm gonna have to wait for the video to be converted into a video file, and then I'm gonna have to like spend an extra minute, typing in a video name and description and, whatever, and let it upload to YouTube, so it really wasn't worth it. I eventually went to bed, but it was an interesting experience. But strangely, after the first update, I was kind of bored, just, something to do. I scrounged around a few of the files that were available for me to actually look at for the game, and I found the credits for the DLC in there. I talked about this in my first episode, but I'm just restating the story here. And I think that's kind of bizarre, like how the DLC came out in 2 updates. It's like an over a 50 gigabyte update in grand total, like 52 I want to say the whole thing was. But it was really strange. Like, there had to be other assets that were added there. Maybe even early assets that I never saw, so that's interesting. But, yeah, man, and why did I have to not record the game audio in the first episode? I didn't even notice. Like, I tried multiple times. I think twice. 3 times. One of those 2 numbers. To record the first episode. Because I wasn't gonna, like, open up the menu for the game and, like, scrounge around and then see that the DLC was there. I wanted to, like, record it, me finding it, right? And that led to a couple instances of the DLC just not actually being there. And I should have noticed in those recordings that I wasn't recording any game audio. If I noticed it there, man, that would have been a lot better. But, yeah, that didn't happen. So I recorded the first 3 episodes, the day after, technically. I mean, okay, I went to bed after midnight, so it's still technically the same day when I woke up, but you get the idea. The first 3 episodes, and yeah, they didn't have any game audio, so I had to edit them together. I didn't have to edit them together, but I just wanted to minimize the casualties of having videos without any game audio, so I just put them all together in one video, and put as a background audio, and try and edit out things that really just weren't relevant to what I was talking about. And it wasn't great, because I was trying to tell the exact same story there in those first few videos about how I was staying up late and the updates and whatever. And so it was a bit scattered, a bit rambly, I suppose, a bit uncoordinated. But eventually I recorded the next episode. Part 2, where I recorded episode number 4, and that had game audio, so that's good. But of course, the same problem scourged me later on in the Let's Play. The same thing happened, I forgot to unmute the game, the desktop audio, excuse me. Same difference, but you know what I mean. But actually, where it happened, I again recorded 3 episodes. It was actually a pretty decent place for it to happen. I think it might have actually been better for it. Because it was a really nice sort of, like, story. Because I was in the section I was in the Bonnie Bowl section. And I was getting really frustrated at the tiny little DJ music men. They were really annoying. And I got there in the last video. And I hadn't done a whole lot there before I called it quits for the day. And recorded the videos. And edited the videos, sorry. So, the following 3 videos, and thankfully I managed to get past it at the very end of the last 3 videos I recorded. So I didn't do a whole lot without any sort of real game audio loss. But I figured it was a really nice kind of evolution of me, like, playing it like, okay, I'm not really happy with how it's going on, and me getting, like, really frustrated later on with how these things were working. So I felt like it was a nice evolution, and it was kind of a fun video. That one was to watch, not to actually have to edit and realize I didn't record the game audio, because it's one of those things where I don't know how do I explain it. I record it, I look at it and realize, oh crap, I just made a monumental mistake that I just can't fix now, because the idea here is I'm playing the game blind. Right, and that's why I didn't go back and re-record the first 3 episodes, because I wanted to do it blind. So, if I went back, recorded it, wouldn't be blind. Kind of obvious. I guess I kind of just explained that, but it's a really big mistake I couldn't fix. There's nothing I could do to fix it, and it's a really big mistake, right? So I don't like doing it. It's even worse with me than it is with you. Realize, oh, this guy's an idiot. He didn't record the game audio. Well, trust me, it's worse for me than it's for you. So, yeah. There's one more detail here. Is that technically, actually, a couple more details. Technically speaking, what was it that both my Let's Play on the base game and its DLC are evenly divided between episodes, between halves. So, when I Let's Play Security Breach, I got to the end of the game, the credits for the first time, in part 31, and I possibly 100% into the game, or finished it, let's just say I did, in episode 62, so it's a really nice half and half. Now here, this Let's Play is 28 episodes long, but technically speaking, it wouldn't be true. It's only true to say that they're both evenly divided into halves, where the first half Let's Play I get to the end for the first time, and the second half I 100% it. It's only true if you selectively apply rules. Let's say, there was an episode on the base game I didn't upload. As part of the main thing. I uploaded it as an extra episode later on. And there, if you count that video, then it wouldn't be even, because it's in the first half. But if you were to count the videos that I had to combine together because I didn't record any game audio, then the counts would still be different, because when I played the DLC, both instances happened before I beat the game for the first time. With the DLC for the first time. It's not the game. It's not a game. It's just DLC, right? But you know what I mean. So it's only kind of technically true, but not really. Let's just say it isn't. Now, to this day, I'm still not 100% sure if I actually 100%ed it. Now, I still actually have a note card I put tally marks on to keep track of my references, which we'll get to in a second. And I still have it, like I said. Because, I'm not 100% sure if I actually 100%ed it. I'm like 80% sure. And I saw a video on YouTube. I didn't watch it. But it was a video like, oh, this is how you repair all the animatronics in Ruin. And I only repaired 2 of them, right? I did Roxy and Chica. You technically don't repair Roxy, you kill her, but she comes back anyway, so who cares? So okay, can I repair Monty? Can I repair Freddy? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch the video, so I didn't, I don't know if it's actually true, but if I find out one day that there are things there that I still haven't done, I will go back and do them. It will happen. It'll make 4 videos in a row. It was supposed to be the last video, because, man, I kept finding things I didn't actually do. I didn't even really know if there were multiple endings. I kind of did, but I forgot. And I had to go back at the other endings, and that was a whole deal. I had to go back and collect everything, but, yeah, and I had to go back and find Glam Rock Bonnie. Oh, that was not fun. I can't necessarily say I recommend 100%ing the DLC, because if you don't have a guide, it's going to be hard. Now, as for the conversational topic, this one was also references, but this time not to stale memes. It was actually Chowder references. The show Chowder. I counted 10 grand in total. Because again, I have it written down. It's on tally marks on a note card in front of me. Actually, I have other things on the other side of the note card. But anyway, why did I? Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to do it, because this brings me back. So back when I was Let's Playing the base game, there was a period for like 3 months which I didn't upload any videos on it. I didn't record any videos on it because blah 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 health stuff. Let's leave it there for right now. And it took me so long to beat the game that they literally announced the DLC while I was still playing. And I started Let's Playing the base game on the 20th of December, which is 4 days after the game came out. So, yeah. Now, actually, I didn't realize that at the point that when they announced DLC, they were basically like saying, hey, we're starting to make it, and not like actively making it, which it has to be the explanation, because it took a while for that to come out with voice crack. And one of the things I think posted or leaked, I don't know, but the same difference, was a poster that said Chica Chowda with an A on the end, not like D-E-R, it's D-A. And it made me think of the Chowda meme. So Chowder references. And in fact, when I actually talked about that when I was playing the base game, and I basically put that in the thumbnail for that video. So, there's actually a surprising amount of references you could make. I even had to wait before I found the inciting incident, which was that poster. You could reference it like, you take the moon and you take the sun. I'm not going to sing it. I've sung one too many times in this video so far. But, yeah. That was kind of fun. It's also kind of hard to come up with references on top of your head. Now, I actually did watch a couple episodes of Chowder before I started Let's Playing the game, and I had the idea I was going to go back and watch more later on to keep my mind all fresh on references. I didn't do that. But yeah. But if I had to think of Chowder references that would work with, I don't know, Security Breach as a whole, is just one thing, and I think I actually did references in my Let's Play, but it's in the episode My Big Fat Stinky Wedding. And there's an alligator there. He talks in kind of a Bayou accent. And at one point in the episode, he wears glasses. So, big Security Breach reference right there. They probably referenced Chowder. I want to believe that. I want to believe that so much. Not really, but you know the deal. I think my brain is starting to get fried. I wish this was more concise. I wish I had planned this out a bit better. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. After a really long time, my next scripted video. How long did it take me to make this? Several months. Because, yeah, the last one was my revised review on the base game, and now we have a bunch of random trivia about the character models in Security Breach. Oh boy. This video. So after I finished making my revised review, I was technically like 2 weeks ahead. I was one video ahead of where I really needed to be. And I couldn't for the life of me come up with a video idea I wanted to actually do. There were ideas, but most of them were just like, okay, I don't like the idea. Okay, most of them were actually just too much commitment. I don't want to do that right now. It's take forever to make it. I don't feel like it. I couldn't come up with anything, and I spent months just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And eventually, I kind of thought, what if I made a video about random useless trivia about the character models in this game, because I had farted around with these models in SFM, because I had already uploaded a video that was made in SFM. Obviously, I have SFM, and I had noticed some strange details about them, oddities, and general. The window on my computer just changed by itself. Things about it. So, just make a video talking about useless trivia. I like useless trivia. I already talked about how I like useless trivia. I like useless trivia. I like useless presidential trivia. That's cool, right? James Madison is the shortest president, and Abraham Lincoln is the tallest president. See there? I just dropped my phone. Sorry. So, yeah, it's fine. Let's just do the same thing for trivia about character models in this game, which there are a number of things, details, mostly just oddities. I didn't like the video very much. It just seemed too cringe. And I tried to just have fun with it and try and make it not cringe. But man, no matter what I did, I couldn't. I didn't like the video. And at this point, like, it was sunk cost fallacy. Because, like, okay, I have a script for the video. I need to make a video way past schedule. I'm way behind. So I better just go on with it. Okay, I've already recorded all the lines for it. I don't like the video. I should really just scrap this, but I am making a video. I have all this right here. I'm like halfway through editing the video. I don't like it very much, but I gotta make a video. So, I didn't like it very much. And I really dragged my feet on this video. I really dragged my feet on this video. It did not take me 2 weeks to make this. It didn't take me 1 week. It took me months to make this video. Because I just didn't like it so much. But I had to make it. Sunk cost fallacy. And I like to think that as soon as I uploaded it, I disowned the video, more or less entirely. You can watch it if you want, but I would not recommend it, personally speaking. I need to take a drink. My throat's getting a little sore. Luckily, I have a drink with me. Okay, moving on, what else is there to say about this? Well, probably a lot. What more besides the fact I don't like it? Which I don't, keep that in mind. Let's talk about the, SFM posters. I think I made like 165, I want to say is the number, grand total. Now, not all of them were used in the video. That is definitely for sure. In fact, as of right now, I still actually have the posters, because I don't know why not. Now, most of them were just like, here's the close-up of this character's hand in their T-pose. So not very complicated. You could do the same thing in like 3 minutes in SFM. But there were some that had more effort put in than a lot of the posed posters. As for ones I didn't use, I did not use the Monty T-pose poster that I had. I just never did. And I had actually made a pose for the endoskeletons. I had a poster of that, and I never even put it in my... I never even imported that image into my editing program. I completely forgot about it until after I'd already uploaded the video. That's kind of funny. I just never needed it. But, yeah. I actually had made poses for all the characters. Okay, so let me explain how I made these things. It's not that interesting, but I'm going to anyway because it's the details. So, I had one big SFM session, and I split the timeline into a bunch of different things. The first 2 sections were all the characters I was going to use in their T-poses, and all the characters in their posed poses. Then after that, I had one little section for each character that had both the T-pose and the posed pose in that section, and I had all the lights and the cameras were all consistent. I tried to make everything as consistent as possible, but unfortunately it was really hard, because I kept all the characters behind the camera, and I had to move them into the light, and there'd be obviously minute differences in how I did that. But whatever. So there were some poses I never actually used. I said the endoskeleton one, but I actually made poses for all the different kinds of staff bots used in the video. But I never even made posters of those, so they're just sitting there, all kind of lumped together behind the camera in an SFM session. But, yeah. Now, because of this, actually, I was running pretty high on memory usage, and I could never even load the model for the blob, because that was a character I was going to talk about, and whenever I opened up the model, finder, I'll, go and type it in, there... as soon as that was the option that would have to be selected, SFM would crash. It couldn't even load in the model viewer. So I had to do a separate session to pose that and do things to that one. And like a fool, I actually ended up deleting that session later on because I figured I wasn't going to need it again. And I actually did need it again because there were some posters I did actually need later on, guys. I didn't get everything in the first pass, which I think is reasonable. I went through and did all the posters for T-poses for all the characters, all the poses for the characters, and I looked at my script and I was going through, okay, I know here I need to pose this character's hand, I know here I need to pose a poster of this inside of this character's hat, sort of thing, and, you know, obviously I was going to miss a few things. So I really sure have deleted that session, because I had to go back and remake it, and there's obvious differences, if you ever notice that, between some posters. But all in all, I still kind of stand by some of the things I said in the video, like the fact that, speaking of the blob, Bonnie's arm is on it 3 times, which is weird, but you know, it still stands. I don't think it's incorrect information, because I tried to not talk about things that were obviously not correct. And there was one particular issue with that, and that was talking about bones and, like, joints. When it came to joint names, I didn't know, I still don't know, as of me saying this, if joint names are preserved from the, like, conversion from, like, Unreal Engine 4 to Source Engine, right? I don't know how exactly that works. And I didn't really want to talk about, like, joints and bones at all, because I wasn't confident in what I was saying was correct. But I did anyway. And I really couldn't edit it out of the video afterwards because I was too worried about, like, losing context and, like, things sounding kind of, weird, right? Like, random, like, things not really making sense. Like, you missed out on someone saying something. I actually did have to cut something out of the video once, and I did have to go back and re-record something for it because it then actually happened. What I was specifically going to say was that, what was it? It was a height difference between the endoskeleton and Glamrock Freddy. I think there was difference between the height of the torso and the height of the legs. Like, they were both the same height at the end of the day, but one, I think, like, Freddy's, like, torso was, like, shorter than the endoskeleton, I think it was. And I didn't get an image of this. I had to go back and get an image of it, and for the life of me, I couldn't replicate what I saw. They were both the same height. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk about this if I can't prove it or get an image for it, so I'm going to change this. Also, I forgot, I don't think, actually, never mind. I didn't have a session that had the characters all together, because sometimes there were some posters I was going to make that needed more than one character on it. I actually only ended up ever making one of those. The rest of the time where I needed more than one character on screen, I just took the pose I made and, like, cropped one of the images and just kind of, you know, formatted them so they both fit on screen, because it was a black background anyway. You couldn't tell the difference. But, yeah, anyway, so never mind that what I said was wrong. I misremembered. I lost my train of thought again. Hey, 59 minutes, that's cool. But I'm gonna cut out that phone call. Oh gosh, what else was I going to say? So basically just, I didn't like talking about bones, but I bit the bullet, and I did it anyway. I didn't like the video. The editing was not great, mostly because I was dealing with almost purely actually, still images, and that's not really very interesting. Oh, voice crack again. Because how do you make a still image interesting to look at? Like, it's not like a small image, like an overlay or something. It's just an entire image, like a background image, right? You don't really, like, well, how do you do that to make it visually interesting, you know, for like 10 seconds straight? You kind of don't. So that's the thing. But still, there are some things, again, that I said in the video I still think are weird, and I still think are correct, like how there's a difference between Glamrock Monty's eye color and Shattered Monty's eye color. They're red and orange, respectively. Or, like, red and then red-orange, respectively, but, you know, same difference. But, whatever, I don't like this video. And let's just leave it there. Now, that being said, I could make a sequel to this video. There's a very obvious place to go for a sequel, and, you know, if this video was, you know, super well received all of a sudden, I might, but, I don't really want to. Now, that being said, on the subject of video stats, let me make an image for you of the graph, the view count graph. The YouTube algorithm killed this video. There's a very obvious point at which it just stops increasing. I got algorithmed. Darn it, YouTube. Hey, it's me, post-recording this retrospective, Burrhead2, that is, editing me. So, while, editing this particular section of this video, and having to use my, mild trivia video as background footage, because I just keep rambling on about it, I've run out of background footage for this video. There's nothing left in the video to show you, basically. I've discovered that I have, in fact, made, a very large, not very large, but a way too large amount of incredibly sloppy and, frankly, amateur editing mistakes by leaving in at least 4, I want to say, instances of placeholder text that I was going to, use as a placeholder. So, yeah, I really farted this video out, and to be honest, I kind of actually did fart this video out. It could have paid well to have watched the video through before I uploaded it, but I didn't like this video so much, I didn't like working on it, and I definitely didn't like listening or watching it so much, I didn't do that. So I think it's finally time for this video to be sacrificed to the YouTube gods. May my next year be prosperous. Anyway, let's move on to our next video here, a Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope review. Oh boy, this is a short video. In fact, this video is, has exactly 3 pages. The script is exactly 3 pages long. In fact, it is so exactly 3 pages long, I actually removed the indentation on the last paragraph, because otherwise it would have been 4 pages. And I didn't really want to have, like, a 4th page that had, like, 5-10 words on it. That's kind of like a waste of paper, so I just, got rid of the indentation, so... yeah. Now, I expected this video to be like 7 minutes long, but it ended up being like 9 minutes. It's kind of pleasantly surprising. And the reason it's so short is because I have, like, no opinion on this game. I have, like, nothing to say about it. I was playing it, I was playing the game, like, I was forming, like, almost no opinions, voice crack on the game itself. Like, it was just pretty meh, pretty whatever. Not the best game I've played, definitely not, but definitely not the worst game I've played. That's for sure. So, what else do I say about this video? I think maybe part of the reason why it's a little bit longer than 7 minutes is because there were parts of the video where I quote something I said earlier. But, yeah. So, this video is actually a combination of 2 ideas that I had. One is that I knew, and I didn't know, but I wanted to at some point when doing a review to just kind of mess with the categories and just do them in kind of a random order. And the other idea I had was, like, for example, start with music, but the other idea I had was I wanted to say I didn't like the soundtrack in this game a whole lot, and, like, kind of make a joke about how, like, I was, like, making, like, Grant Kirkhope fanboys mad at me. And I figured, why don't I just, like, do music first in this game and do the whole category mess up thing, and then I could, like, start with that joke earlier than, like, halfway through the video. So yeah, there we go. That worked out, I suppose. Is it particularly funny? I don't know, but it's something that's in the video, and my voice is dying slowly. My throat hurts, but I'm slowly getting more hoarse, but yeah. How many times have I said "but" so far in this video? I don't know. And then how many times I've gone Okay, let's keep moving. Now I started doing captions with this video, closed captions, because I know I'm not the best enunciator on the planet. I speak fast, I don't speak clearly, and frankly, YouTube is probably not the best thing for me to do because it's a lot of talking. And I'm not very good at that, so I'm not really cut out to do YouTube. But I've gotten this far. Not that I really should have, but, as in, like, maybe I should have done something else, but, yeah. And I figured that with this video, this would probably be a pretty good place to, like, kind of test doing captions, because I figured that doing captions was going to take a long time, and that it would be kind of hard and cumbersome, because I figured that if I was going to do captions in YouTube, it was going to be very imprecise. Like, basically just, okay, this particular caption starts at this second, ends at this second, and says XYZ. And, that's basically what it is anyway. But it's actually, you can actually time it down to the frame, which I was pleasantly surprised, which is what I wanted, actually. Because I've seen a number of captions in my days, and they always, I mean, not always, but like, let's say like 95 times out of 100, they're not going to be timed correctly into the words. Like, going to be a little slow, or usually a little slow, to be honest. And sometimes you see captions and they actually follow along really well, but that's pretty rare. So that's why I thought you couldn't be very precise with the captions timing, but yeah, you actually could be. It actually took me, I think, couple to several hours to actually write out all the captions in this video. I was doing it all in the YouTube captions writer, and the problem was I was actually typing out all of the captions. I had my script and I was like, transposing it, and I was making sure that what I said was accurate to the script, and if I said anything different, I changed it so the captions would be accurate, but yeah, that takes a long time to do that, unsurprisingly. But I did eventually figure out that I can just copy and paste my script, and that makes it a lot easier. I actually since gone into using the captions writer in my editing program instead, 'cause I think it's a little bit easier than doing it in YouTube. But yeah, so I still want to make sure that what I say is accurate to the captions and to the video, but I'm probably not going to make captions for this video. Anyway, moving on. I don't think there's much more I can say about this one. A FNAF Security Breach Ruin review. I need to take another drink. My throat is killing me. Maybe I should stop for a minute. I'm gonna keep going. For better or worse. So, this video. I can't really remember a whole lot about it, to be honest, but I do remember thinking I was doing a pretty good job with it. I think I wrote pretty well. The recording, about average, I think. I put captions on the video, so that alleviates part of the problem. Doesn't fix the source, but it does fix the side effects. And I think the editing for this video was pretty good. Overall, I think this video came out really well. And, what do I say about this? I can't think much about the writing, what I did there. I know I didn't think out the horror category quite as well as I did with my reviews on the base game, but whatever. There's always my revised review on the DLC, which probably isn't going to happen. Oh yes, the categories. So I've been thinking for a while before this, like what I would do if I were to review this. And because it's not a full game, I thought it really wouldn't make sense to do like full 10 categories on this, because like some things like graphics would be kind of redundant. Like I'm not going to score the DLC for a game on the graphics when the graphics probably aren't going to be that different from the main game anyway, right? So it's not a whole brand new game, so like why score on everything? So I figured, what if I just do less categories, what if categories feel irrelevant? And I had the original idea to just not like score it at all, but I scored it anyway. So I only did 6 categories here, and I think that actually kind of made it turn out worse, because the final score I gave this was 48.3 repeating, I believe, because I converted it from a score out of 60 to a score out of 100, which is why the kind of funky number. But that score was lower, even out of 60, than I kind of anticipated it being, because there's points, because when I've done reviews and I look at the final score, I look at it and I think, this actually kind of reflects my opinion on it. I look at Luigi's Mansion 3 in that review. What I gave it, I think I gave that game like a 67 out of 100, and that game's basically like a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. So it's pretty accurate, but in this case, I scored it less than 50. less than 30, whatever number you want to use, and that doesn't accurately reflect my opinion. I think it's better than the base game, not by a whole lot, but it's at least like a 6 out of 10, at least, maybe like a 58, 57, 59 out of 100, not like a 48.3 repeating, because the next lowest score is 51 out of 100, and that's my score I gave the base game on my revised review. And after that would be 52, which is the score I gave the base game in my original review. But that's beside the point. So the number was lower than I wanted it to be, and I think that's partially because, probably entirely because, I didn't have those extra categories, because I couldn't, okay, I don't know much about this, I don't care much about this, give it a 6 out of 10 because it's pretty decent, and, leave it there. With those extra numbers, like extra 5s, extra 6s out of 10, it would have been better, probably at least would have reached probably a 51, 52 out of 100, at the end of everything. Even 54, 55, might be pushing it a little bit, but yeah, so that was, I think that kind of made it worse overall, so it was a little harsher than I wanted it to be, but I can't really fix that now. So, yeah, there's that. Now, when it came to the editing, I think I did a pretty good job, because, when I was editing, what I was trying to do was, if I thought of anything, I put it in the video. And I think that ended up working pretty well. I mean, if it was like an awful idea, I wasn't going to put it in there. I probably wasn't going to edit in gruesome footage of someone being murdered. That'd be a pretty bad idea. I'm not going to let the intrusive thoughts win, but, other things, just say, put it on there. Yeah, I think this works. And I was doing that because I wanted to make sure the people that weren't that interested in the video were going to keep watching, because there would always be something happening, right? And so, although it led to me being able to put in a lot of things I thought were fun or funny or just kind of, enjoyable and more derogatory sense, I felt like I was jingling keys. And I didn't like that factor a whole lot because, just too much. I was trying too hard to keep people interested in watching the video if they really weren't. And that means they wouldn't be watching it for me or my opinion on this thing because, pretty colors, pretty sounds, or maybe funny sounds or something like that. There's just a lot of things in the video. I think so. Although I enjoy that, but I like that factor. I also don't like that factor. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess you could say. I think there were a couple things I didn't actually edit into the video. One of them being, because I was just kind of lazy, where I was doing the part where I was mimicking, hey, funny reference, Gregory, I had this idea to add in a yellow glow on the sides of the screen, depending on where it was being panned. I didn't do that, because I didn't have anything immediately on hand that I could use to edit that in. I probably could have done something like that if I tried a bit harder, or wanted to put a bit more effort, but I was lazy, didn't do it. But hey, there was still plenty of stuff in the video anyway, so who cares that much, but still, I was being lazy. And another thing was, also kind of being lazy, I had this idea to kind of color code all the categories. When I do the category title card and I do the final score for the category, it's, they all have, colored glows around them, but I had the idea to have the colors kind of correspond with, the characters from the game, right? I think, like orange and green and pink and purple and blue and some sixth color, probably red, if I had to guess, because I like red, but I didn't do that, and more or less would have been that order. I don't really remember, but yeah, I was a little bit too lazy. I was I thought maybe I should do this while I'm editing the video, or maybe I'll do it at the end, right? Yeah, I'll wait, and I didn't do it. Not a huge deal. No one's really gonna care, but it would have been a cool little detail, right? Anyway, next up we have ranking every Mario Party Superstars minigame. Now this is a bit interesting because I'd actually scrapped this video earlier this year, sorry. It was one of the ideas I had thought of previously when trying to come up with a new idea, and I eventually, went with the model trivia, but yeah, I just wasn't interested in making this video. Everything else besides this one was just too much commitment, too much effort, and I didn't want to do that at that point. But I unscrapped it. Now it's kind of a sequel to my ranking every Super Mario Party. Yeah, Super Mario Party minigame. I want to say Super Mario Party Superstars, but that's not true. That's not what it's called. And so, it's more or less in that same vein. I use the Rockwell font consistently in this video, as I did in that video. But yeah, there's a lot more to talk about here because there's more minigames. Now, I actually did manage to say something for every minigame in this video, although I did kind of cop out in places and just say, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to say, let's move on to the next video. Minigame. My gosh, my brain is fried today. But I still technically said something about every video. I did it again! I said the same thing again! Every minigame. Sorry. So, yeah, there's that. Now, the editing in this video is not my favorite. I feel like I could have done better somehow, but there wasn't anything to edit into the video. Like, it's just a bunch of background footage, and that's it. That's basically it, and overlaid text on screen, and the text moves, and music in the background. But that's some very basic editing. Not a whole lot there. I wanted more, like, things to put on screen, more interesting scenarios, more gags than just, like, here's Piranha's Pursuit in the background. A slight detail is that I actually had to slow down the footage through one section because the recording was too long. It was the section for Mecha Marathon, because that was the longest section in the video. Again, my recording was just simply not long enough, so it slowed down very slightly, but you probably really wouldn't notice that. It looks normal speed if you ask me, but it technically is slowed down. Anyway, anything to say about this video? Not really. I mean, I spoofed the thumbnail from my ranking every Super Mario Party minigame video, but you know, you can't really spoof it if I made it, right? I made both of them, so it's a sequel video, a sequel thumbnail. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Anything else to say about this? Not really. Not really. I can't really think of anything. Maybe later. Maybe when I'm editing this video. Who knows? Anyway, after that comes every unused Mario Party minigame. Now, I thought of this idea back when I was making the previous video, because I want to make sure I'm all up on the video ideas, and to be honest, I was having a hard time with that this year. I had this idea, maybe like just go away with video schedules, videos whenever, just like one video every month, but I've been trying to keep up with this, and basically at this point I was getting kind of tired of keeping up with it. Like, okay, when I did the model trivia, I was like, okay, I'm getting back in swing of things, the Michael Chavez Sparks of Hope review, okay, whatever, and everything else after that, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm still doing this, but whatever. So it kind of makes sense that I was thinking about Mario Party, and then made another Mario Party video, 2 in a row, I guess. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this particular video, but it's just a fun little showcase of the unused minigames across the Mario Party series. As of this recording and this video, the video I'm talking about, because, like, you know, 15 years in the future, there's probably going to be more unused Mario Party minigames, but it's currently not 15 years in the future as of me saying this. It will be one day, but that day's not today. It's 15 years in the future. So, yeah. Next up is Worth the Wait, a Pikmin 4 review. Yes, reviews are some of the easier videos to make. Not really, but they're consistently always videos I can make, and that's always a good thing. I was being a little extra spicy with the video title in this case. I actually wanted to do the same thing with my Ruin review by kind of putting, what was I gonna say? Painfully average in the, same as painfully average in the title and maybe the thumbnail as well. I forgot to do that though, but the DLC is painfully average. It's decent. It's decent, but it's not that. I'm talking about Pikmin 4 here. So this video, I forgot to mention one particular thing about a previous video, which was old one at this point. Either my revised review on Security Breach or my Mile Trivia. It's one of those two videos. But I switched how I record videos. Before that, I would, read off a line, and if I messed up, I'd stop recording, go back, and start it over. I've since switched that to doing it to if I mess up, I just restart part of what I was saying, and then edit out the part where I mess up. And that I think it does work. It's a little bit easier on me. So I started doing that this year. Cool! Anyway, so maybe that's the thing I changed about the recording from my revised review. I forget, it's been a while. So back to my Pikmin 4 review. So I don't really remember a whole lot from this video. It wasn't that long ago as of me saying this, but I honestly don't remember like anything from this video. I can't think of anything. I'm drawing a blank. It's embarrassing. I mean, again, I can just reiterate my opinions on the game. Like, it's decent, but it has a lot of problems in my opinion. And I echoed those there in my review. But technically, I'd be echoing them here. But yeah, I honestly can't think of anything to say about this video. Oh gosh, I might remember when I'm editing this video, but who knows? Anyway, here we have Gregory's True Identity FNAF Theory. Oh boy. So this video is a game theory parody. Apparently this guy didn't understand that. I put it in the thumbnail and directly in the first line of the description, but whatever. Anyway, so I was actually really hurting for a video concept at this point, because after my Pikmin 4 review, I couldn't come up with anything. I was like getting really close to the next time I had uploaded a video. Excuse me, I burped again. And I just couldn't think of anything. And I thought, oh yeah, there's this thing. I want to make this for a while. And what really kind of bugged me was I actually had referenced this theory in my model trivia video, which is another thing I didn't like about that. I shouldn't have made some really vague inside joke there, because that's kind of cringe. But thankfully, I finally explained the theory, proof of the Gregbot theory, because in long story short, it's pointing us towards Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was, as we all know, Reggie Fils-Aimé, who's a robot. Gregbot theory is Kanan. Hire me. I don't know, for game theory or something. I'm really good at this. So I tried kind of to replicate some of the game theory-ness. I haven't watched game theory in a long time now, but at least from what I remember it being, I kind of tried to do the, say the same things, enunciate the same ways. I didn't do that very well, but yeah, and I kind of tried to emulate the editing style. And thankfully, I actually had the generic main image. I had found that a while back, and I saved that just in case I needed to use that for some reason. I was able to use it here, so boom. It wouldn't be a game theory video, at least game theory parody, without the generic main number 02. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But anyway, it's just a joke video, nothing too interesting. So let's move on to Year 3 Anniversary Video Retrospective. It's this one! My throat still hurts. I've been going on for almost an hour and a half. An hour and 23 minutes. But my voice is dying. It's very dead. Now, about this video, I haven't practiced this video quite as much as I did my Year 2 retrospective, and I've gone on for longer than I kind of expected to, but it's better than almost 4 hours, so that's good, right? So, it's probably why this video is a lot shorter, and why I completely forgot about some things. Like my Pikmin 4 review video. Gosh, that's embarrassing. Not really, it's just lame and pathetic. But I wouldn't be me if something didn't go wrong in the process. So yeah, something's always gotta go wrong. It's usually a technical issue, though. But, yeah, mostly technical issues. In Let's Plays and stuff like that. Cough, cough, my ruin Let's Play. Now, I think I'm gonna put Ochi on the thumbnail for this video. Makes the perfect sense. I knew if Pikmin 4 came out, I was gonna put Pikmin 4 in the thumbnail of my retrospective that year. Because I was gonna do Pikmin 4 stuff that year. And I did. Here it is. Got Ochi on the thumbnail. Fairly confident. I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Alright, so... You know what that means? We're not done yet. Nope. 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 We gotta talk about scrap videos. Videos I tried to make at some point, but eventually stopped. So, first we're going to talk about a video I was actually going to make last year, and I forgot to talk about it in my year 2 retrospective. It was going to be kind of a sequel to the video, Video Analytics, that was I made early in year 2, and what I was going to do is be kind of basically a showcase to rather strange thumbnails I found on YouTube, because, you know, when you have videos uploaded to YouTube, and you go to the YouTube studio, you can look at videos people were watching to get your video recommended to them, and you can see where most of them came from and what they were watching, and blah 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 blah, right? You know, stuff. Obviously shows you the thumbnail. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a whole lot for this showcase. I found exactly one thing that fit my criteria. I mean, there's plenty of strange things I could have shown, but things I didn't really want to show. Right, so let's move on then, shall we? So, I can't really remember. I think this was pretty early on in this year. I had this idea to make a sort of Mr. Blue Sky edit sort of thing, but instead of Mr. Blue Sky, I was going to use like the song Taken for a Ride, but the same gist. I was going to have it like every beat basically be a new image of FNAF merchandise. Cause there's a lot. I eventually didn't make this video because there was too much stuff. I wanted to first get an image of everything, and that was really hard because, okay, the only way I could have gotten these images, not the only way, but the only comprehensive place I could have gotten these images is off of the wiki. And the Five Nights at Freddy's wiki is a fandom wiki. And by extension, fandom wikis love webpage files. And unfortunately, webpage files are really, they're awful. They're not image files. That's the thing. And when you save a webpage file, you don't save the image, you save a link to the image in your browser. So, you can't, like, insert that into a video editing program. You didn't save the image, you saved a link to the image, that's it. Right? It's like NFTs, right? You didn't buy the image, you bought a link to the image. Whatever, I don't know, let's not talk about NFTs right now. So, I tried like screen record and get all the images, and it was a huge pain. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I gave up on it. Now, I think I had over 200 items to show off. Now, there were multiple items in one image, so it's not 200 images, but it was over 200 items, and I was like quarter of the way through all of the pages on the wiki. I didn't look through all of them. Like, the Funko Pop page obviously was very big. Other ones were like a couple entries long, like 3, you know, so I didn't know how much it would be grand total. I haven't looked at those pages, but yeah. Now, the reason I was going to use something that wasn't Mr. Blue Sky was because I actually didn't know that Mr. Blue Sky is like a 5-minute long song. I did not know that. I thought it was shorter, and I wanted to make sure I had a lot of time. So that's why I chose Taken for a Ride. It's a 4-minute and 43-second runtime, so that's longer than like 3.5 minutes, which I basically thought Mr. Blue Sky was, because I usually never actually watch the Mr. Blue Sky edit videos. And if it had been even longer, I would have used Welcome to Tally Hall, because, you know, that transitions into Taken for a Ride. Maybe one day I'll go back and make this video again, but probably not. I don't know. Now, another one I was going to do was Welcome to Tally Hall with Family Guy GIFs. And again, I say GIFs because I guess that's what it's pronounced. Because if you've seen those videos online where it's like, it's songs from Hawaii Part 2, and it's just Family Guy GIFs. I want to do that with Welcome to Tally Hall. Unfortunately, it's really hard, and there's actually like not a whole lot of things that would actually fit the lyrics, and you gotta find a lot of GIFs, and it seems that there is a limited amount of Family Guy GIFs on the internet. You think there'd be like 15 for every episode, and by extension there being like probably 50,000 Family Guy GIFs, but you know, you look up Family Guy GIF on Google and you're gonna find a lot of the same results every single time. If you change Family Guy GIF somehow in the search bar, like funny Family Guy GIF, Family Guy GIF, Peter Griffin, the results aren't gonna be that different from each other, because it's all Family Guy, so it's all the same thing anyway. So I can't really think of any more off the top of my head, with one sole exception. One video. Oh, this one. Oh, what am I gonna call this one? I'm even going to name it. I don't know. But I'm still technically working on it. It's still technically working on it. Let's just say that. I kind of scrapped it because things went south, but let's not be confident that this thing's ever going to come out. All right, let's just say it's dead for the time being, and if it does come back, cool, great, even better. But whatever. So this video, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but was a really, really big and ambitious idea. In fact, so ambitious, I was looking for help with the video, and I did get some people to actually be willing to help me. Unfortunately, the way things worked out is, well, I couldn't really do it, because I needed stuff. I needed a lot of stuff for this thing, and the stuff I needed didn't exist, and if it did exist, it was kind of poor quality. So I wanted a high quality, and I wanted it to actually exist in the first place. So, you know, that's a slight problem. What more can I say about this without spilling too many beans here? That is an interesting question. I'll get there eventually. I'll get the answer eventually. Well, let's just say this, right? So there was one particular asset, let's use the word asset, that I really needed. And I did have a version of it, but it was a really poor quality version. And I kind of lied to myself and holding out the hopes that a good version actually existed. When I looked for it, it didn't. And the problem is I was kind of basing the whole thing around the fact that the high quality version actually existed. I lied to myself, and the lie wasn't true. That's why it's called a lie. I mean, it still could have been true in the end. I just didn't know it was true. I just convinced myself it was. And I could have used the really bad version. I think about it. Like, maybe I could have. Maybe I could have used this really bad version, but I think about it and realize, no, I can't. There's no way I could use it. And I could have made it without it, technically, but it'd be so much worse for wear if I did that. At what point you gotta say, you know, at this point, I'm eating too much into what I want to do here. It'd be a lot worse, so let's just call it quits. Let it go, right? So I told everybody, hey, you can leave now. But, so yeah, like I said, I'm still working on this. I'm not gonna spill too many beans. I've been really tight-lipped with it. But, yeah, that's basically it. Remember though, the video's dead, right? It's dead for all intents and purposes. I'll reiterate, if it comes back, cool, great, but let's don't count on it, but you don't even know what it is anyway. I didn't explain what it is, so don't get your hopes up. So that's all I can really think of to say right now. That's the end of my list, to be honest. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. I suppose. It's been a hour and a half and 4-minute long ride so far. Nothing more I really need to say. Except, I almost forgot. Except, of course, my top 10 video list for year 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Dead dwarf yellow bulwarks, but they seem a little big. And hey, wouldn't you look at that? We're playing as Louie! Gray still has Almar's icon. Over here, there's still 3 spider warts, but obviously not the same. So, thanks for watching, everybody. For my year 3 video retrospective, it's been a bit not great, honestly. A bit rambly, a bit not very straightforward, not very well planned out. But this is really all improv anyway. A little voice crack. So can you blame me? Really? But you know, who cares? Who cares? Right, so thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next time. I'm looking forward to doing a little bit, some different things with year 4. I want to do some bigger videos next year. Maybe more monthly uploads instead of bi-monthly uploads. But who cares? Who cares, really? It's just, by the time year 5 comes around, me saying that it's not gonna matter. So I shouldn't have said that, but it's too late to take it back now. I mean, I could edit it out. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you guys in the next video. Alright, goodbye.